Cultural Shift Conviva, a symposium exploring disabled-led arts. Funded by Spirit of 2012 Trust, Friday the 2nd of February 2018, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Arc, Stockton. Disabled-led arts practice has been at the forefront of innovation for over 4 decades, and yet challenges still exist around it being embraced and embedded into our cultural landscape. However, the good news is that solutions are actually within our reach. The Cultural Shift Conviva, meaning sharing of a feast, aims to give lots of food for thought and a means of creating practical actions we can all implement. Disabled artists and practitioners will talk about the context of disabled-led practice and offer bite-sized provocations to invite discussion and seek solutions. Whether you are a disabled practitioner or a company or venue wanting to include disabled people in your work, we are sure there will be something of value for everyone. We will share our Cultural Shift working model, look at increasing and improving opportunities for disabled people in both professional and participatory work, and explore how to better support disabled artists. With information, encouragement and provocations from a range of key disabled practitioners and professionals, we will look at how you can get started and how you can support artists to move on to the next stages of their careers. Disabled artists will have the chance to discuss the evolution of content, aesthetics and access, and also examine the impact of mainstreaming on disability identity in all its diversity. The programme of the day: 10:30 a.m. registration, 11 a.m. welcome by Lynn Snowball, setting the scene with Vicky Refford-Sinnott, Cultural Shift overview with Annabelle Turpin and Vicky Refford-Sinnott, 11:30 a.m. keynote Deborah Williams, 11:40 a.m. visitor provocations, getting started Julie McNamara, Emerging Forever, Simon Startin, Spectacle, Dolly Sen, Identity, Gobscure. Roundtable discussions led by Joe Verrant, Michelle Taylor, Nikki Miles-Wildin and Vicky Refford-Sinnott. 1:20 p.m. lunch. 2:10 p.m. a word from our funders. Amy Finch, Spirit of 2012 Trust. 2:20 p.m. performance by Lawrence Clark. A pitch and position presentation, 11 disabled artists. Reflection by Cultural Shift artist Paul Wilshaw. Full Circle, a short film. Reflection by Cultural Shift participant Emily Wilkinson. Participation, a short film. 3:30 p.m. break. 4 p.m. excerpt from Another England by Vicky Refford-Sinnott. Visitor reflections by Tammy Reynolds and Aidan Mosby. Feedback, reflections, action, networking. 6 p.m. close. Speakers: Annabelle Turpin. Annabelle Turpin is Chief Executive of Arc in Stockton-on-Tees. She has produced and toured work nationally with a range of artists including writers Patrick Gale, Jackie Kay and Jonathan Coe, spoken word artists Kate Fox and Michael Edwards, and theatre makers Daniel Bye, Catherine Beaumont, Jack Bennett and Luca Rutherford. She is executive producer of Permanent Red, chairs the board of Tangled Feet, and is also a board member of the North East Culture Partnership and the Sunderland Culture Company. She is passionate about supporting artists and sees bringing venues together as a critical part of this. She initiated and chairs Venues North, a group of over 30 venues from across the Greater North committed to helping artists get their work seen more widely. She co-chairs as well as manages activity for the North East Artist Development Network, works with Bridging the Gap and Reach, touring in the North East and co-chairs Future Arts Centres, a network of more than 100 arts centres committed to championing the role of arts centres within the wider cultural and community sector. Lynn Snowball. Lynn has been chair of ARC's board since 2014 and has always had an active interest in the arts. An accountant with extensive experience in public sector management, she led the Audit Commission's work for a wide range of local councils, NHS, police and fire bodies across the North East and North Yorkshire, together with a number of national roles. She was a board member at County Durham and Darlington NHS Trust for 4 years, chairing the Finance Committee, and also chaired the Audit Committee for the Children's Commissioner for England. She is a former North East chair of the Chartered Institute of Public Finance and Accountancy. She is passionate about using the opportunities at ARC to provide a wide and contemporary programme of activities and events, and supporting artists to develop exciting new work that is relevant to our communities from a thriving organisation. Vicky Refford-Sinnott. Vicky Refford-Sinnott is a pioneering, award-winning disabled theatre director, playwright and equality strategist who believes in a cultural landscape without limitation. She is artistic director of Little Cog, a disabled-led theatre company, and is creative lead and co-founder of Cultural Shift, a 3-year disabled-led arts programme at ARC Stockton. Vicky has also worked as CEO of both Arts and Disability Ireland and Arcadia in the North East, delivering many groundbreaking initiatives to support and promote the work of disabled artists, whilst increasing understanding of access and equality in venues and organisations. She still works strategically across the cultural sector, delivering talks, training and new equality projects. Vicky is an associate artist of ARC Stockton and was recently awarded a scholarship to undertake a practice-led PhD in disability theatre at Teesside University. Her touring play, Butterfly, has just been named Best One-Person Play of 2017 by the British Theatre Guide North East. Emily Wilkinson. Emily Wilkinson lives and works in Stockton. Emily first became involved in the Cultural Shift project in 2015, during which she particularly enjoyed performing in the 45 Days to Find My Way surprise Stockton flash mob in Stockton High Street. The main aim of 45 Days to Find My Way was to break down the barriers that hold disabled people back. Since taking part in the project, Emily now works in the marketing team at ARC and is living independently. Her main interests are music and photography. She enjoys singing too. Deborah Williams. Deborah Williams is CEO of the Creative Diversity Network, CDN, the body funded by the UK's major broadcasters, which brings together organisations across the UK television industry to promote, celebrate and share good practice around the diversity agenda. As CEO, Deborah is responsible for the strategic direction of CDN, delivering all aspects of the organisation's activities, including the groundbreaking Diamond Diversity Monitoring Scheme, diversity talent databases, online resources, and the CDN Awards. Prior to joining CDN, Deborah was Diversity Manager at the British Film Institute, BFI, where she opened and managed a £1 million lottery fund for diversity, designed the BFI Diversity Standards for Film, and contributed to the BFI Business Plan and Strategy. Before joining the BFI, Deborah was the Senior Officer for Equality and Diversity at Arts Council England. Deborah is an award-winning actor, as well as being a writer and theatre maker with 20 years' experience in creating and presenting distinctive, high-quality work that challenges ideas of difference and diversity. Simon Startin. Simon is an acclaimed disabled theatre maker. He is an associate artist of Gry, London Bubble and Theatre Royal Stratford East, as well as being board member for China Plate. As director, he has led work for the RSC, Young Vic, Zende, Back, and London Bubble. His most recent production, Cinema for Zende, was awarded Best Small-Scale Production of 2015 by British Theatre Guide. He has just finished a year as artist-in-residence at Theatre Royal, Stratford East, and will shortly be commencing a new Wolsey testing ground commission for the Pulse Festival about inspiration porn. He has a long and proven track record of challenging the representations of disabled people in performance. As a writer, he has 15 professionally produced commissions, 5 of which were awarded Time Out Critics' Choice. Moreover, he has been a professional actor for 26 years, with many appearances on stage and screen. Dolly Sen. As a child, Dolly Sen was an alien in Empire Strikes Back. She knew then she would never know normal life. Her journey as an artist has taken her up a tree in Regent's Park, to California's Death Row, to the Barbican, Tower Bridge and the Royal Academy, Trafalgar Square, and up a ladder to screw a light bulb into the sky. Dolly is an award-winning writer, artist, performer and filmmaker who uses her creativity to spank oppressive systems' arses and to change the way people view madness. She has had 10 books published and contributed chapters to several other books, been nominated twice for a Dada Fest Literary Award 2006 and 2007, and won several awards for her poetry. Her subversive blogs around art, disability and humour have a huge international following, and since 2004 she has exhibited and performed internationally. Her films have also been shown worldwide. Julie McNamara. Julie McNamara is the artistic director of Vital Exposure, one of the UK's leading disability-led theatre companies within Arts Council England's national portfolio. As both an artist and activist, she is a lead voice within disability arts on international stages. Her work is driven by social justice, with a lifelong preoccupation with excluded voices from locked-in spaces. Her particular interests are in discourses of madness and representations of madness on stage. She is an award-winning playwright, PTFF Performance Award 2017, Unlimited 2014, South Bank Show Award 2010, Dada Writers Award 2009. Her work is widely published in poetry anthologies and non-fiction discourses on disability and mental health. She has an extensive theatre production history, both in the UK and internationally. Recent work includes Let Me Stay, celebrating her mother's life, living well with Alzheimer's. She directed a recent sellout tour of the Butch Monologues by Laura Bridgman. Obscure. Last year we channelled Mad, Bad, Rad and Bi, Mary Wollstonecraft, performing at the Mac, Birmingham. Erased Poetry from Walls in Athens, Folgidos in association with Alma Zevi Venice, Nudged Meteors with Art House and Mental Health Museum, both Wakefield, Rewriting Narratives across Performance Installation Broadside, performed Welsh Poppy's poetry at a wall of new words beginning with pre-song for Disability History Month London, then ended the year with The Real SAS, Swaddling Coat Asperger's Society. Poetry Snowed and Elevator wrote Goosebumps, just returned from ADF, Belfast, where Still Alone in Our Voices, last seen at Arc, is centrepiece. Next play, Joey, 1981, is now but with louder guitars, better lyrics, supported by Grayscale Theatre, Northern Stage, Camden People's Theatre and others near completion. Jo Verent. Jo believes that different is delicious, not divergent. She works in arts and culture at strategic levels with national agencies and on the ground with organisations and individuals, embedding the belief that diversity adds texture and turning policy into real action. Jo is the senior producer for Unlimited. www.weareunlimited.org.uk Unlimited is the world's largest commissions program for disabled artists, supporting new artistic work to get it seen, discussed, and embedded within the cultural fabric of the UK. Unlimited is a program delivered by Shape and Arts Admin, working with partners such as Arts Council England, Arts Council Wales, South Bank Centre, Tramway, Spirit of 2012 and the British Council. Jo leads on the delivery of the programme and is responsible for the impact the work has both at home and abroad. Jo has won both Cosmopolitan's Woman of Achievement Award and her Village's Cup for making jam. She is on the Northern Advisory Panel for Arts Council England and is a Claw Fellow. Michelle Taylor. Michelle Taylor is a disability and equality trainer and advisor based in Nottingham. She has been running her own business since 1992, training and advising organisations on making their practices, policies and premises inclusive of disabled people. She is also an accredited coach. Michelle is a Director for Change for the Ramps on the Moon Consortium, funded by Arts Council England, a programme to increase the number and visibility of deaf and disabled people in mid-scale mainstream theatre. She is responsible for supporting the change programmes in the 6 partner venues and for ensuring that learning is disseminated into the theatre industry. She has worked in small-scale theatre as a performer, writer and director, and is one half of the comedy duo Bitter and Twisted, still making the occasional appearance. Nikki Miles Wildin. Nikki Miles Wildin is a director and theatre maker. As an actor, she's well known for her role as Miranda in the Paralympics opening ceremony London 2012. Her directing credits include Bingo Lingo, co-director Wild and Beats, Disability Sex Archives, Toucan Theatre, Nana's Jumble, Kazam, staff director on Mosquitoes, Dorfman National Theatre. She has also worked as an associate director on Tommy, Ramps on the Moon National Tour, and assistant director on The House of Bernarda Alba, Gry Manchester Royal Exchange, Lost and Found, G-Dance, Blood Wedding, Gry Dundee Rep Derby Theatre, Waiting Game, Kazam, Wheels on Broadway, Gry. Nikki is an associate artist for Kazam. In 2014, Nikki founded Toucan, Gloucestershire's first professional and disabled-led theatre company. Nikki is currently resident assistant director at Manchester Royal Exchange Theatre. Tammy Reynolds. Tammy Reynolds is a writer and performer based in Liverpool. She works as a producer for DadaFest, Disability and D-Deaf Arts Festival, with young people in talent development. Her writing is featured in local and national publications, the most recent being in I Hope You Like Feminist Rants zine, with an essay titled Femigitism. After gaining a first-class honours degree in creative writing from LJMU, Tammy went on to develop her writing through performance. She performed her stand-up debut at the DadaFest Cabaret Night as part of the Blue Coat 300 celebration. She's gone on to debut a live art performance at Transformer in the Liverpool Everyman Theatre. With hopes to continue her live art practice, she's currently working on a standalone show. Aidan Mosby. As an artist, curator and writer, Aidan Mosby works at the intersection of the visual arts, well-being and, increasingly, technology. He uses the locations he occupies as a live laboratory to research, develop, test and make work. His current work focuses on the dual crisis of climate change and mental health. The curation of public events, seminars and forums to specifically engage a non-art audience and explore the work in an interdisciplinary context is integral to his practice. Aidan is concerned with language, literally in text-based pieces, objects as metaphor, and the emotional and psychological language of spaces and location. He regularly participates in panel discussions, conferences, guest lectures, and facilitates groups and discussions. Aidan exhibits and curates nationally and internationally, working with partners such as Dundee Contemporary Arts, WIP Stockholm, the Tetley, Dash, New Media Scotland, NHS 24, ANAT, Watershed, Jadras Art, and the Sick of the Fringe. Lawrence Clark. Lawrence Clark is an internationally acclaimed comedian, presenter, writer and actor who has cerebral palsy. He's performed everywhere from the House of Commons to a double-decker bus in Sheffield. His 9 critically acclaimed solo shows at the Edinburgh Fringe have gained him a plethora of 4- and 5-star reviews. With television appearances on BBC, ITV and Channel 4, Lawrence was the subject of major BBC One documentary We Won't Drop the Baby. He was awarded Shortlist magazine's Funniest New Comedian, came runner-up in the Amused Moose Edinburgh Laughter Awards, and performs and writes sketches for comedy collective Abnormally Funny People. More recently, Lawrence has been part of Abnormally Funny People's successful run of shows at the Edinburgh Fringe and Soho Theatre. He has also toured Scotland in Birds of Paradise's critically acclaimed play, Purposeless Movements. He has completed the Everyman and Playhouse's Playwrights programme and has written his first play, Cured. He has also completed Channel 4's Commissioner Mentoring Scheme and is about to start a placement in the Story Department of Hollyoaks. This year he was selected for the BBC Class Act Scheme for Disabled Actors. He has also written and performed in his first short film, Tick Box for 104 Films. In addition, he and collaborator Matt Holt were commissioned by Channel 4 to write a pilot for their sitcom, Intolerable, which they're developing with Objective Fiction. Paul Wilshaw. Paul Wilshaw is from Wimborne in Dorset. He has mild to moderate cerebral palsy and learning disabilities. He has a first diploma in performing arts at Jellicoe Theatre in Poole, Dorset. Paul was a performer in the London 2012 closing ceremony of the Paralympic Games and was the assistant producer to Breathe, which was an unlimited commission for the London Festival and Cultural Olympiad in 2012, seen by 11,000 people on Weymouth Beach. Paul moved up to Bradford from Dorset in 2014 to join Mind the Gap, England's largest learning disabled theatre company. Paul is very proud of his achievements with the company and is extremely proud of his own project, A Long Way From Home. Paul says, Mind the Gap, ARC, and the team on stage and off stage have shown me that they believe in me as an actor and lead artist, and the Arts Council has also shown faith in me. A Long Way From Home is a semi-biographical show around the topics of mental health, online bullying and rejection. Paul is making sure that even though some of the show is from his past, that the piece can recollect to disabled and non-disabled alike, as these issues can happen to anyone. Paul is doing a sharing of what has been created in his second Research and Development Week at Mind the Gap Studios on the 23rd of March. More details will be announced nearer the time. The Cultural Shift project was funded by Spirit of 2012 Trust and supported by ARC, Little Cog, Arts Council England and Stockton Borough Council. Join the discussion online on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn using #Conviva2018.